That was your bus ride to school. A lot of talking, having fun, showing your little seatmate, maybe a new little gadget, little toy you got, whatever. Well, in the schools where more money is needed, it's a little different. It's just a little different. Let's look at this little tyke and how he's interacting with the bus driver. He cracked him in the face. Can you imagine being that driver? The restraint it would take to not strangle that motherfucker. And he got popped. You heard the crack. He's like, fuck, that little fucker hit me. And then he gets up. And you could almost see the moment the gears are turning where he goes, what are you, crazy? You can't even lay a finger on this kid. You can't even defend yourself. You can't even pin backwards. Or you are done. Done as a driver, done in any job you want, done in your community, done on social media, probably done on the mainstream media. Done. So he knew, I can't touch this kid. And no one else will either. No one else will either. He'll just be able to do that, and he'll grow into a bigger piece of shit who will commit worse crimes. So that's going on. This is your school system. This whole thing is your inner city, predominantly school system that begs and begs for money constantly. Maybe elections? Maybe we can do something about it by electing local officials and school board members and whatnot in your local elections. That way you have more of a voice in what's happening in your community. In these jobs that were predominantly male-dominated jobs that women have gotten themselves into, that nowadays minorities and women are being given in lieu of qualified men that have done these jobs very well for years and years. And now they're putting women in these jobs. One of the things I always talk about is when I walk in an airplane, I get through that door and I give the plane a little tap when you walk through the door. Hold up, baby. And then I nod to the flying waitress that's standing there greeting everyone. And then I turn my head and look into that pit of hoping that the owners of two are in there. That's like your ideal situation. I'll give you the rundown. Two men, grayish salt and pepper hair, white, you see, because sometimes you can't see their heads. You could just see their arm over the chair. So you got to make a lot of deductions through seeing just an elbow and a side of an arm. And I like seeing a white man's elbow with some grayish arm hair on it. I'm good. I'm going to my seat. I'm ordering a beverage and having a great flight, great relaxing flight. You turn your head, and here's the next step down, which isn't really all that bad. You see the man you just described. And just picture Sully Sullenberger. That's the be-all, end-all pilot you want to see in that plane. Sully Sullenberger. A mustache, though optional, is recommended. That would be very nice to see. So Sully. Now, the co-pilot is kind of a young dude who probably wasn't in the military. He took a there you go. That is who you want. That's your ideal pilot. You see that when you turn your head left, you are skipping to your seat. Bring me a drink, bring me anything. I don't even care. I know this flight's going up and going down, and we're all getting off this plane one way or another in one piece. Even if we have to land in a river, I know. No casualties. So that's your ideal situation. 2 of these guys. You got 2 Sullys you're gold. Now you got Sully in the pilot seat, and then in the co-pilot seat, you got this brash young gentleman who doesn't look military, but he looks like he went down to Florida, learned to fly, put in his hours, got a job at an airline, and now he's getting his hours to get in that left seat and be a captain. That's great too. There's nothing wrong with that. You got Sully there. Sully don't give a fuck this kid's ass if he needs it. There you go. This is absolutely the guy I'm talking about. While not as good as Sully in that right seat, you have no problem. Sully's there to wipe the kid's ass if he takes his shit, and we're getting to our destination, and that's fine. All good. Don't mind seeing that. Your third step down now is Sully, and then in that right seat, any woman is not good. It's below that guy being in that right co-pilot seat. Old, young, whatever. A woman in the co-pilot seat is your third level.
Are we skipping?
Now again.
Sorry, Anthony. Are we skipping one level? Is this?
No.
That's still okay. Just wanted to make sure. Okay.
Nope.
Cool. Okay.
Nope. You are jumping the gun, my friend. No. Third is any woman. Any woman in there. Don't want that. Like I said, old, young stuff. That's third down. And yeah. In fourth place, under a woman, is the dude. The dude. Yeah. In the right-hand seat. Now, Sully can now still take care of problems, but Sully's now going to have a problem. Sully might not, the Sully you have in there might not want to seem right. He might not want this guy to complain that he's second-guessing his shit. See? You see why I put him there? So this seems more because again, a white seasoned pilot might be more apt to be afraid than he would a woman. He's talked back to his wife, so he's used to talking back to a woman, so he can shut her up pretty quickly. That's why I put any woman in third. Look at this. That's beautiful. Yeah, you don't want her in that seat. Jesus Christ. So the dude would be fourth down. And then, I mean, Sully and a is the most situation you could have with Sully in the left seat. Yeah. Yeah. Now, again, it gets worse. Go back to the top and now reverse it. Now, Sully is in the right seat. And in the pilot seat, you have the young, brash kid. Again, it's okay. It's like, but I'd rather have Sully in that seat. And then now go down and there you go. Oh boy. I never even put this in my calculations. Actually, I may have fell here because going through it, because I really haven't given this any thought. I'm just kind of spitting here. I think the young brash pilot in the pilot seat and Sully in the co-pilot seat is better than any of the situations we saw with Sully in the pilot seat and any minority or woman in the co-pilot seat, if you know what I'm saying. It's very complicated, but I think you know. I think we could all figure out what I would feel with in that seat. Anyway, brings us to this story. A female pilot, this woman was going to fly this plane as the pilot with a guy as the co-pilot. We don't get to see him, but we hear this woman, the pilot, gets on the intercom, standing in the aisle so everyone could see her, and starts just losing her mind, speaking to these, now I can only guess, horrified passengers. Check it out.
Okay, if you don't feel safe, get off the airplane.
This
Crank
is your
it.
captain speaking,
Okay.
but never like this.
I'll stop, and we'll fly the airplane. Don't worry, I'm going to let my co-pilot fly it. He's a man. Okay?
It's a total meltdown. The pilot boarded in her street clothes and addressed the passengers over the intercom. Passenger Pam O'Neill couldn't believe what was happening.
She said, let's take a vote. How many of you would like to take off now with me dressed as I am, or would you prefer that I take 10 minutes to get changed into my cute little uniform? Then she started talking about her divorce and political candidates, and the minute she mentioned that, a gentleman stood up and just yelled, whoa. Enough, you're scaring me.
Another passenger, Randy Reese, got up to leave and gave a running commentary on social media. Pilot also insulted a couple on board.
Did I offend you? Okay, so did I purposely offend you? I did. The answer is yes. Flight attendants, please disarm doors.
After 20 passengers insisted on getting off the United Airlines flight, the pilot quietly left the aircraft.
Okay, if you don't feel safe, get off the airplane.
Zoinks. That woman was having a nervous breakdown. She was having some type of breakdown right there. She shows up in her regular civvy clothes, and then starts to address the passengers, making them very that whole thing of like, would you like the co-pilot? He's a man. And then talking about her divorce, obviously she has man hate surging through her veins because of this divorce that she's going through. And then talking about, presidential candidates and whatnot. That is not a stable person. That's not someone you want up on that flight deck. I don't care what they're doing. In the jump seat watching, I wouldn't want her there in that condition. So, but again, I think this kind of gets to the point of men, I think, have a better resilience against stress when it comes to doing their job. Now, they might, be basket cases in their private life. I know a lot of pilots, because of the stress and pressure, are alcoholics. They're other kinds of addicts. But when it comes to doing their job, they're very good at it, and they know not to bring that to work with them. Some have, and they've been, reprimanded. You see sometimes a pilot comes in drunk and he gets fired and whatever. But I think overall, again, these are anomalous. I think overall, men are just better suited. Combat veterans make good pilots. That should tell you something right there. These people have been through some shit and seen some of it and been in some of the most stressful a human being can be in, and came out the other end with an amazing ability to fly a plane and do it well. So again, you get this woman, she loses her mind. She doesn't belong up there. How'd she get the job? Were any men to the side so that she could get that job? I think so. I think that's what we're looking at these days. She didn't look that old. She didn't look like one of the first women that had to go through a rigorous screening process and training to be a pilot. I think back in those days when women first wanted to become pilots, it was because they wanted to, not because they could.
A lot of these women, I think, now take these jobs that are offered to them now because they can. And they want to show, look, I'm a woman and I'm doing this now, instead of having a genuine passion and interest in the job and getting it for that reason, instead of, well, we want more women in here than men, so you qualified dudes, take a walk. We're going to put some women in here that want to, that have a chip on their shoulder and want to show how amazing as women they are. No, I don't want that flying my plane. I don't want this kooky woman. Think about it, too. This woman flew planes. She may fly again. I don't know what happened to her, if she was taken off the job, if she'll ever fly again. But a couple of days prior to that, she was up there flying a plane. And she wasn't any less crazy than she was right then and there. Frightening thought, isn't it? We see a lot of this, though, these days. So much with this equity.